Yep, it's that bad. War of the Worlds is the latest film to be released on Amazon based on the War of the Worlds novel written by H.G. Wells. That's a pretty famous author, in case you didn't know. And this is definitely one of the worst of the entire year. There is nothing from this movie that was memorable. Even the bad moments weren't so bad it's good. Watching this movie is like watching Independence Day, except if that movie decided to be complete shit, and then it had a baby with Paranormal Activity. The movie starts with protagonist, played by Ice Cube. He plays a guy that watches you while you sleep from that little camera on your laptop. He is stalking his family whilst making a major bust on a big-time hacker he's been after for quite a while. Whilst all this is going on, he's getting questions about strange weather all over the world. This is already so fucking dumb. 1. Why is he doing personal things while working on a very serious project that involves actual security threats? And 2. Why is this guy, the guy who looks at surveillance footage all day, getting questioned about strange weather and not, I don't know, a meteorologist? They still exist, don't they? Anyway, the protagonist is stalking his pregnant daughter and lecturing her on her poor life choices and whining about how she needs to eat healthier. And then he calls his son and yells at him for playing too many video games, even though his son is a content creator who makes money off this. This guy works as a hacker for a safety department, but he thinks that his biochemist daughter isn't smart enough to take care of herself and doesn't believe that you could make a living off playing video games through content creation, even though this has been one of the most lucrative jobs for the last decade. The agents are about to break into the suspect's house, and the lead agent is holding her phone out so the protagonist can see the field, because apparently in this universe body cams don't exist. But they've been duped yet again and the hacker escaped. And all of a sudden, a bunch of meteors crash all around the world and out comes giant robots. They destroy everything in sight and take out the power grids and water supply and all things humans need to survive, but conveniently, no power grid for the city the protagonist is in is destroyed. Otherwise, we may have been spared this wretched movie. But protagonist speaks to his daughter and she is running from an alien when it looks like she just gets squashed and killed. And he looks the same as he did 20 seconds ago. And when he finds out she survived, he still looks the same as he did 40 seconds ago. And when she shows him that she's been stabbed through the leg and can't walk, he still has the same goddamn look on his face. Ice Cube seems to not know how to act in this movie. It's like he was told to make random faces at a camera for a day and then was dismissed and not asked back for reshoots. But once protagonist finds his daughter a product placement to escape in and she is safe, he hangs up on her and gets a call from his son. His son mysteriously says that he knows what's going on, but instead of conveying the information he has, he just says, "I know something you don't," until his dad hangs up on him. We then learn that aliens caused the meteor shower on purpose to mask their entrance, and apparently this was what caused all the weird weather. Do you know who could have told you that way earlier? A fucking meteorologist. So protagonist gets in a call and is speaking with members of the president's cabinet and eventually the president himself. And just be clear, this is just some guy who monitors traffic cameras. This is not the guy who the president calls in a global crisis. But after 2 title drops, product placement states that we don't know why the aliens are here, which causes the protagonist to ask out loud, why are the aliens here? And he pretty quickly figures out that they are headed for the data centers. Then protagonist's son calls and says it's about Project Goliath, which he knows about because he is revealed to be the big dangerous hacker. Protagonist doesn't believe him and says it's fake news. But then after a few seconds of hacking, finds out it's real and his boss activated Goliath knowing it would draw the aliens here. And the protagonist actually says out loud, "They lied to me, right to my face, about the government." He gets fired after confronting his boss and teams up with his son and the Cyber Avengers to stop the aliens. He proceeds to erase the files on all the Cyber Avengers and upload a YouTube video that goes #1 on trending about how the government causes all of this. Now, what's wrong with this, you might ask? Well, we saw that when the aliens ate the data, they destroyed the internet. So the rest of the movie can't happen. After they discover that the aliens have the munchies for data, they upload a virus that only gives them a stomachache. So the aliens retaliate and blow up all the Cyber Avengers except for Protagonist and his son. Then, after a brief questioning of what went wrong, Field Agent calls and says the robots are cyborgs, so they are part living, and that's why the virus didn't kill them. So the new plan is to make a virus that works on living things as well as technology. Now, onto the third act. Protagonist has a virus, and it's uploaded to a thumb drive, but he doesn't have the thumb drive with him. So his daughter's fiance, who works for Amazon, introduces us to the future of delivery and attaches the drive to a drone, and then once the order is placed through Amazon, which again, the internet is out, in an underwhelming chase through the city, the drone delivers the thumb drive to Protagonist. After a grueling journey where he tripped over alien robot tentacles twice, he plugs the thumb drive in, and the aliens all die. His boss is arrested, and he learns the lesson of the movie, which is personal privacy is important. This third act is complete garbage. 1. The Amazon drone has rightfully been clowned on as the single most pathetic piece of product placement ever. The daughter has to take over hacking cameras and is doing great, but she's never done this before in her life and says as much when she screws up. So apparently hacking is now very easy for beginners, especially stuff run by our government. The drone chase was boring, and this big climactic moment didn't land at all. But also, the protagonist just goes downstairs to Project Goliath. It was in his building the whole time, and he's calling this shit fake news, and genuinely didn't know this existed. Good lord, what a train wreck. Oh yeah, and this entire movie happens in less than 24 hours. The weather, the invasion, and stopping them, all in one day. Characters in this movie get a 1 out of 10. Everyone is just playing a caricature. Some people go missing for so long you forget they are part of the movie. Story gets a 2 out of 10. Alien invasions are always ripe with potential, but this was shit. And this movie had what I'm assuming to be great source material to work with, considering who wrote it, and they still fucked it up. Acting gets a 0.5 out of 10. This movie really just focuses on Protagonist and his son for the most part, and they are both terrible. The rest of the cast does fine, but they are in the movie so little compared to these two, I don't feel inclined to say you get to look forward to seeing the other characters. Visuals get a 4 out of 10. This movie doesn't look great, but it was intentional. This movie is shown through busted cameras and phones, so naturally the movie doesn't look impressive, but that was by design. It still looks bad, but it could have been a lot worse. And action is a 0.5 out of 10. This movie does make an attempt at action, and it's just the worst. There is only one thing an action scene can't be, and that's boring. All the action scenes in this movie are slow and tedious. This movie overall is a 1.5 out of 10. Probably safe to say this will be the worst movie of the year. I don't know though, it'll be a tough one between this movie and Snow White. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, if you made it to the end, you are obligated to subscribe and leave a like. Comment down below if you hated the movie as much as I did. If you actually liked it, then you are objectively incorrect and a little crazy, and I must understand the strange thought process that you have. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care.